There's a powerful Japanese principle that turns ordinary people into lifelong learners. The paradox is this: the more convinced you are that you already understand, the less capable you become of truly learning until you uncover one crucial shift in mindset. Have you noticed how a 3-year-old can absorb more in a single year than many adults manage in 10? Children don't rely on strict discipline, complex study systems, or motivation hacks, yet they take in information effortlessly. Why does this happen? The explanation comes from wisdom Japanese Zen teachers recognized centuries ago. Modern brain science is now confirming there is a mental approach that can rewire your brain for endless growth. The Japanese call it Shoshin, or the beginner's mind. When you combine Shoshin with 2 other ideas, Shuhari and Do, you gain something extraordinary: the capacity to keep learning, evolving, and improving at any age, without becoming mentally stuck. Yet most people gradually lose this ability by their mid-20s. You begin telling yourself stories like, "I'm just not good at this," "I'm too old to start," or "I can't learn new things anymore." Over time, these thoughts feel like facts, but they are not. Before we dive into how one woman uncovered this truth and completely reshaped her life, take a moment to reflect. What skill have you secretly wanted to develop, but assumed it was too late to begin? Keep that in mind as you continue. Alina was 38 years old and had spent 15 years teaching high school mathematics. She was committed to her students. She stayed late. She planned carefully. She cared deeply about doing a good job. Yet beneath the surface, she carried a constant sense of dissatisfaction, quiet disappointment that followed her every day. She watched colleagues move ahead into leadership roles, publishing, public speaking, and thought, what makes them different? Why not me? Alina had ambitions. She wanted to design modern learning resources. She dreamed of creating online courses. She wanted to master graphic design, video editing, and public speaking. She wanted financial freedom instead of constant worry. But whenever she considered starting, an inner voice shut her down. You're too old. Successful people started early. You're not naturally talented. You're not creative enough. You're just average. She accepted these messages because society had repeated them for years. Learn while you're young. After a certain age, your brain is set. Growth is over. So Alina slipped into routine. Work, home, recovery, repeat, paying bills, getting by. No real forward movement, just endurance. Then one afternoon changed everything. During parent-teacher meetings, Alina encountered a particularly demanding parent. The mother blamed Alina for her son's poor performance and accused her of using outdated methods. She suggested Alina lacked creativity and energy. Instead of feeling angry, Alina felt something more painful: recognition. Part of her knew the criticism held truth. She'd been teaching the same way for years. She had stopped stretching herself. She had stopped evolving. Sitting alone in her classroom after the meeting, Alina broke down not because of the insult, but because it exposed something she had avoided admitting. She'd quietly accepted that this was as far as she would go. That night, she asked herself hard questions. When did I stop believing I could grow? When did I decide my limits were fixed? The realization was crushing. She had stopped trying the moment she believed she already knew her boundaries, determined to change. Alina searched online for ways to reinvent herself. Her social media filled with productivity experts, business coaches, and online courses promising fast success. She watched endless videos, bought multiple programs, and followed step-by-step systems. She created content, built websites, posted on social platforms. The result? Almost no response. No meaningful progress. Just mounting frustration and financial stress. Her confidence sank even lower. The same old thoughts returned. This isn't for you. You're not built for this. Stick to what you know. Then her husband pointed out something simple but powerful. She was chasing outcomes without mastering foundations. She was collecting information, not truly learning. That insight stayed with her. One evening, she came across a quiet, simple video about Shoshin the beginner's mind. No hype, exaggerated promises. Just a calm explanation of how adults sabotage their own learning by clinging to certainty and ego. The message struck her deeply. She realized she had never truly allowed herself to be a beginner. She always carried labels: not creative, not technical, not confident. Those identities shaped her results. The video introduced Shuhari. First, strict imitation, then adaptation. And the understanding that learning is a lifelong journey, not a destination. For the first time in months, Lena didn't feel excitement about quick wins. She felt understanding. She joined a mentorship program focused on real learning, not shortcuts. Progress was slow. Daily practice, small improvements, copying proven systems, letting go of pride, accepting mistakes, focusing on 1% better. Each day, most days felt ordinary. Some days felt discouraging. But over time, the changes became undeniable. Her videos improved. Her designs became sharper. Her speaking grew more confident. She moved from copying others to developing her own style. Learning became part of her identity. Eventually, Lena created a new type of math curriculum: visual, interactive, and story-based. Teachers responded enthusiastically. What started small expanded. She built a company. She left her old role. Her career transformed, but the biggest change was internal. She no longer forced herself to grow. Growth became natural. She no longer chased motivation. Curiosity drove her. She didn't try to be a learner. She was a learner. Modern science supports this. Research on growth mindset, neuroplasticity, and adult learning all show the same truth. The brain remains capable of change throughout life. What limits most people is not age, but belief. Humility, curiosity, and willingness to fail activate the brain's learning systems. So now the question is yours. Are you willing to let go of who you think you are? Are you willing to return to the mindset of a true beginner, to release false limits and replace them with curiosity? This is not a trick. It is not a shortcut. It is a philosophy of living. And when you adopt it, you don't just upgrade your skills, you redefine your identity. Choose to be a beginner, again and again.